Atma Namaste and welcome. Thank you very much for joining us for this special presentation on the Year of the Dragon, Chinese New Year lecture and meditation. So before we start, why don't we ask for divine blessing, shall we? Just open your palms to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to my beloved teacher, Master Chua Kok Sui, to Mahaguruji Mailing, to all the spiritual teachers, to all the holy masters, to all the saints, to all the holy archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers. We humbly invoke for your blessings. We invoke for divine light, divine love, divine guidance, help, healing energy, and divine protection. Thank you for blessing this coming year to be a happy, a healthy, a prosperous one, but most importantly, that we may get closer and closer to God. We thank you in full faith. Amen. So be it. All right. So thank you very much for joining us. We'll just have a short lecture on this thing about the Year of the Dragon. You know, it's interesting. Being born in the Year of the Dragon, you always hear about, oh, the dragon, one of the 12 astrological signs in the Chinese culture. And I didn't know much about it. You know, for me growing up, it was mostly like superstitious stories about, oh, the dragon is the most powerful one, blah, blah, blah. I didn't know much about it just growing up. And then it's interesting, I found out later that Grandmaster Chua Kok Sui, my teacher, was also, his body was also born in the Year of the Dragon. And, through the course of many years, we have this discussion. And the interesting part is, once you meet a great spiritual teacher, you get to see past the superstition and the hearsays and things like that to go deeper into what the real meaning of these symbols are, if you will. So I'll just show you a little quick slideshow and we'll just comment on it as we move with it. So what most of you have heard about the dragon, you have the Eastern dragon, all right? So you notice that, look at it, it's more like serpentine, it's like a snake, it's a big old snake. In fact, a lot of people, if you study a little deeper, the word dragon comes from Draco, if I'm not mistaken, or Draco in the Greek, which actually means like a water serpent, okay? So it's long snake. Now, in contrast, if you look at the Western dragon, okay, let's show you another one of those. In the Western tradition, the dragon is not serpentine. It's not like a snake. It's basically like a big old gigantic, what do you call this? Dinosaur with wings. So, if you kind of study a little bit about the stories, in the Eastern tradition, they always look at the dragon as something good, bringing good fortune, prosperity, abundance is a symbol of good luck. That's why a lot of emperors, when you look at their wardrobe, it's got a big old dragon. You go to the temples, they have dragons on the walls. It's a symbol of something good. In fact, growing up, they always say, if you ever dream of a dragon, it's good luck. And I know one person, one clairvoyant or psychic was looking at him and saw that there was a golden dragon on top of his head and start predicting, you'll be a very, very successful, you'll be super rich, you'll be an international lecturer and teacher, prosperity would be yours. And, this kid was just a nobody. And when the clairvoyant or the psychic clairvoyant teacher told him about that, the kid has no idea what he was talking about. Anyway, 20 years later, it manifested. So it's one of those things where, why is there such a contrast between the Eastern and then when you look at the Western dragon, it's often connected to, something bad, something evil. It has something that has to be slain or conquered. So the question is, what is really the difference between the two? So in order to understand the deeper meaning of dragons, why is it that the Eastern tradition is bringing good luck and good fortune and so on and so on? In the Western tradition, is look at something which is completely opposite. Now, the interesting part about this, in order to really understand this, you have to look at another culture. You have to look at the Indian tradition. One thing I really love about my teacher, Master Chua Kok Sui, is he's able to look at all the different traditions and really just kind of go deep into the essence of each one and just see what is really the meaning of all these different traditions, cultures, what is the real teaching behind it. So if you look at this image that we're showing you, this is taken from Grandmaster Choa's book, Achieving Oneness with a Higher Soul. In the Indian tradition, you have heard of the word Kundalini. So this Kundalini is oftentimes depicted as a snake, all right? So the question is, what is this Kundalini energy? For some of you who are new, you heard it about talked about in yoga. So the word Kundalini actually describes a power source located, okay, if you look at this image again, somewhere in the lower part of the spine. Now, this power source, unfortunately, has so many things said about it that at some point it's almost scary for some people. So let's just kind of break it down, make it super simple. I realize that a lot of you probably do not have deep esoteric background, so we'll just super simplify it for you. So the whole idea with this Kundalini energy, it's a power source in everyone. Whether you believe it or not, it's there. And the purpose of it is, as it rises up your spine, into your brain, into your nervous system, it allows your brain and nervous system to be able to register very, very subtle signals coming down from God, through the higher beings, through your higher self or your soul, into your brain. In other words, it's a certain ingredients or substance that if there's a lot of it in your brain and nervous system, it allows you to recognize and register subtle spiritual signals or spiritual frequencies. It's not very hard to understand, really. It's something like this. If you have an AM radio, okay, that turn it on, you hear AM stations. Now, if you want to hear FM signals, your hardware is not tuned to the frequencies that are higher on FM. So in order to go from AM and be able to listen to FM, guess what? You have to change, you have to upgrade your radio, right? Okay, now here's the interesting part. Your brain, our brains, are not originally tuned to the higher frequencies or the higher senses. So originally our brains are tuned to what? The five senses. So in our waking moments, what do you have? You have sense of smell, sense of taste, sense of touch, sight, and hearing. So when you do your spiritual practice and meditation, the spiritual energy that comes in can also be sensed. But these five senses were not tuned to that higher frequency. So over many, many lifetimes and incarnations, as we spiritually develop, this Kundalini energy naturally flows up our spine, in small, small amounts into our brain and nervous system to upgrade our hardware, so that as that energy pours down, when we pray and meditate, we start having insights. We start experiencing inner peace, stillness, I feel a blissful sensation. All those things that come down will not be registered by our brain and nervous system if there was not enough Kundalini energy in our brains and nervous system. Now, here's the interesting part. Unfortunately, a lot of books say, my Kundalini is awakened or it's not. Whether you like it or not, everyone's Kundalini energy is awakened. It's just a matter of degree, how much. Okay? Now, this is not the focus of this talk right now, so we're not going to go in detail, but if you have a good spiritual school, they go through in detail how to safely, here's the key, safely awaken this power source within you to accelerate your spiritual development. Now, whether you like it or not, everybody's on the spiritual path. As one great teacher said, Charles Ledbetter, spiritual development is something like this. It's like water going down a hill. Whether you like it or not, that water, because of gravity, will get to the end, the bottom of the hill. But depending on the pathway, some areas, some people, some of the water can get a clear path going through, so it's faster. Some have to go through obstacles. Some of it have to go through, a lot of detours, if you will. So the spiritual path is the same. Whether you like it or not, everybody is on their way to becoming one with God. All right? So it's just a matter of how fast or how slow. So when you do our spiritual practice, meditation, prayer, whether we are aware of it or not, or whether we like it or not, a little bit of this Kundalini energy is going up to help us register the signals coming down from our higher self, which ultimately, of course, comes from God. Now, when you do yoga, when you do meditation, that safely, and here's the key part, we'll talk about it a little bit more, safely awaken this Kundalini, it accelerates what naturally happens over many, many lifetimes. All right? So if you have a good school, you have a good teacher, they'll teach you how to do this safely and properly. Now, of course, in Pranic Healing Arhatic Yoga, if you're part of the school, Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui has different classes and teachings that helps us do it safely, be able to accelerate your spiritual development and still have, a family, good health, finances. It's a balanced way of doing it. We'll go to that in detail a little later, just to point you in the right direction. All right, so let's keep going. Now, if you look at this image again, you have the Kundalini energy at the lower part of the spine. Now you say, well, what does it got to do with the dragon? We'll get there, don't worry. All right, now, in order to go a little deeper, if you talk to any of your Indian friends, they always hear of this story of Krishna fighting the snake Kalia in this lake, and the serpent overcoming the snake and coming out, victorious. The story is something like this. I'm gonna kind of paraphrase. So if you have Indian friends, they tell you the whole story. The funny part is, a lot of us have studied in school. We learn of Jack and Jill went up the hill. Stories like Jack and the Beanstalk and whatever, right? So Indian traditions, they have their versions of different stories, and one of them is this one. So the story is something like this. There's this lake which was poisoned by a snake named Kalia, or a serpent, or a cobra, whatever. It depends on who you talk to. Anyway, the whole idea is the lake is poisoned. Obviously, the fish died and the plants around there are dying. So everybody's praying, Lord Krishna, please help us. So Lord Krishna comes in, dives into the lake, fights with this snake, wins, and comes out. He won, and he's playing a flute. So most of your Indian friends would have heard about this. So I remember Master was explaining, it's something like this. The lake is actually the lower part of your aura, or the lower part of your chakras, mostly related to your sex chakra, okay? The liquid, water. So the snake is actually the Kundalini energy. If the Kundalini energy stays in the lake, in other words, the Kundalini energy does not go up to the upper chakras, the person is spiritually unenlightened, or, in a way, spiritually dead. Clear? They are not aware of their true nature. So Lord Krishna represents the divine energy coming down, diving in other words, the divine energy comes down, fighting with the Kundalini, subduing it, controlling it, and safely bringing it up to the top. So when you do a spiritual practice, it's something like that. When you pray and meditate, divine energy comes down, cleanses the pathway. When it hits your Kundalini energy, whether you're aware of that, whether you believe it or not, it, fights with it, if you will, wins, and safely allows it to come up in the right amount that your brain and nervous system will be charged, so you will recognize your true nature. So that is the deeper teaching behind that story of this one here with Lord Krishna and the snake. All right? Now, it's interesting that if you want to study it a little further, one of the reasons why people don't understand about why the Western dragon is often the symbol of something bad and has to be slain or controlled or subdued. It's something like this. If you look at this image here, this is in the German tradition. You heard of Siegfried, the dragon slayer. Okay. Now, in the case of Siegfried, the story goes something like this, where anyway, I'm not going to go into the boring detail. There are movies about it. He killed the dragon. After he killed the dragon, he swam in the dragon's blood. Okay, that was the story. So he swam in the dragon's blood, and every part of his body was covered in the dragon's blood, which made him invulnerable. In other words, he could not be pierced with, with knives and so on and so on. But when he was swimming in the blood, a little leaf fell over his back, and so there's a little part of his back that was not covered in the dragon's blood, and that was the part that he is vulnerable. Okay, so what is the meaning of something like this? You and I probably have seen stories like this, read stories about it, watched movies, but until a teacher clearly explains it to you, like Grandmaster Choa did, I had no idea what it is. So he was explaining that the dragon is actually the symbolism of the Kundalini energy. And this Kundalini energy, when it's properly harnessed, has many, many benefits. The slaying of the dragon is not really killing of something, but it's actually controlling it. It's very similar to Lord Krishna diving in and controlling it and saying, I now control you. It's just like slaying your lower nature, if you will. Okay? Now, why is it often called the lower nature? It's something like this. There are many, many aspects of this truth. We'll just talk a little bit about it. See, this is such a power force within you. When it's coming up through our chakras and our energy centers or our channels, if you talk to the everyday person, whether you like it or not, you have stress, you have a little anger, you have disagreements with people, maybe some aches and pains, maybe some ailments, whatever. So when this energy comes up, wherever it hits that's blocked, it will magnify it. It's just like pouring fertilizer on the ground. So if a person's not ready, their lower nature, if you will, their lower tendencies are still very strong. When this Kundalini energy goes up, it makes it worse. So part of our spiritual development is to slay the lower nature, simultaneously controlling this Kundalini energy so that it can be brought up to the higher centers to allow us to experience our true nature and control our thoughts, our emotions, and our life. So when you say slaying the dragon or slaying the Kundalini, it's not really slaying, it's more like controlling it, all right? So when you have these stories of Siegfried, you have to take it in a deeper light. Now, what's the deal about he being invulnerable? In more advanced techniques, this Kundalini energy also has a tendency to super charge or super, what's the word I'm looking for? Strengthen your physical body. So in certain martial arts technique, there's ways of actually making your body so strong that you're almost invulnerable. Okay, I doubt you can withstand a gun, but anyway, it has to do with the spiritual practice coupled with martial arts practice. All right. Now let's take it one step further. In the Western dragon tradition, you often see a wizard. All right, you see a wizard controlling a dragon. In fact, if you watch some of these movies and study a little bit of the old English stories, you have dragons, you have dragon slayers, and you have what you call dragon lords. Okay, dragon lords are supposed to be these great wizards and sorcerers, magicians, whatever, who have the ability to control these dragons. All right. So what they call dragon lords, wizards, whatever, it goes with the same teaching where these wizards are people who have studied the deeper inner esoteric sciences. So they know how to bring this spiritual energy down to be able to subdue this very primal energy. Okay? And oftentimes you will notice that they have a wand, they do certain prayers, incantations, so on and so on. You go a little deeper, it basically says is you have somebody who's like a priest, a yogi, a wizard, somebody who knows the inner techniques of controlling energy and have a good heart, hopefully, to be able to bring that spiritual energy down, control this Kundalini energy, and use it in such a way that it can bring goodness to a person's life. So in other words, to take it a little deeper, in the Chinese tradition, when they say that the dragon brings good health, happiness, prosperity, good luck, so on, so on, so on, if you study the deeper teachings, basically what it's saying is when we are able to control and harness this Kundalini energy, we have healing powers, we have intuition, okay? You have the ability to speak and influence and inspire people. All these different so-called siddhis, S-I-D-D-H-I-S, the spiritual powers that manifest when you practice yoga properly, can allow a person to be a more advanced spiritual being to be able to help humanity. Okay? So when your so-called Kundalini energy is highly awakened properly and you're able to harness it, you become a force for good. You can help people, you can heal people in need, you can give good advice, you can lead groups of people, you can lead nations. So that's why the emperors are supposed to be divine. They're supposed to be a personification of the divine where the Kundalini is completely awakened. It's not only just a snake, it's now a dragon. You see? So it's not because in the East it's good, in the West it's bad. If you dive a little deeper into the teaching, essentially it's controlling this primal force. If you control this primal force properly, okay, you control it, it becomes a force for good, like the Eastern tradition. In the Western tradition, it talks about this primal force that oftentimes have to be subdued, slain, controlled, imprisoned, whatever. It's because it's still in the process of being awakened and properly controlled and harnessed. But once you're able to do that, then you reconcile basically the two traditions. Okay, let's keep going. Now, one of the things that you saw in the email, or probably in the what do you call this, the promotion for this lecture and talk, is this image of the Buddha Kuan Yin standing on a blue snake, or actually a blue dragon, I'm sorry. So, a lot of times in the Chinese tradition, you would see this. You see a great saint or a great spiritual teacher, riding a dragon. Okay, riding, not trying to kill it, trying to do all that stuff like in the Western tradition, but you see him riding it. So, you ask yourself, Why? So essentially, based on what Master Cho said, it's something like this. When the Kundalini is just partially awakened, remember there are different degrees of it. It looks like a snake. It's not really looks like a snake. It's a certain energy that comes up your spine at a small amount. When it's fully awakened, or fully, what's the word I'm looking for? Awakened, brought up, if you will, from the lower chakras to the upper chakras. It's not just something small, it's now something huge or fully awakened. So an ordinary yogi, it looks like an energy going up that's a certain amount. So symbolically, it's like a snake. When you reach a certain spiritual development of full enlightenment, in fact, Kuan Yin is often called Bodhisattva, or in the higher teachings, he's called a Buddha, where the soul is already fully enlightened, then the Kundalini is already completely awakened. So from a snake, it's now a full-blown dragon. Okay? So that gives you an idea. Every time you see it, that's because the soul is already fully enlightened. Okay, let's keep going. Now, people have asked, hey, that's strange. How come the dragon is blue? Well, if you look at this image here, some of you have heard of what is called the blue pearl. It's in the Siddha Yoga tradition. It's taught in pranic healing, in Arhatic Yoga. If you look at Master Cho's book, he talks about it. You also notice that they have these meditations where they meditate on the pineal gland. So without going in much detail, because some of you probably are very new to this, we'll just do what we can to just give you an introduction. So in the center of your head is your pineal gland. Okay, your pineal gland, inside the pineal gland, if you have somebody who could see energy, there's actually a blue-violet particle. Okay, in southern India, it's called the blue pearl. So this blue pearl is actually an energy particle that connects you directly to your higher self. Okay, it's like your gateway to your higher soul, or gateway to heaven, some people call it. When you do your meditation, you feel like in the center of your head there's something pulsating. You connect to your higher soul. Or some of you, when you meditate, you experience extreme stillness. All right, now how is that connected to what we're talking about now? So in the next image, you take a look here. Some of you have seen this. It's the staff of Asclepius, who is often called the father of medicine. Of course, this is also, in some traditions, connected to the caduceus, which is the staff of Mercury, which is the symbol oftentimes used in medicine. Now, without going through that right now, if you look at this, if this is superimposed on the body, it symbolizes the Kundalini going up, and one of the termination points, or stopping points, if you will, of the Kundalini energy is the center of your head. So an ordinary yogi who is not yet fully enlightened, it looks like a snake going up. Okay, looks like a snake going up. Now, let's take a look. If you have somebody who's more spiritually advanced, it might look like this. Okay, that's why oftentimes you see in temples, right? Oftentimes in temples you would see pillars with dragon coiled around it. So that's kind of give you an idea of the inner teachings where a person, through their spiritual development practice, can turn their little serpent, if you will, into a dragon. Again, some of you don't get stuck with the word serpent or dragon. It's essentially a power force. If your surgeon opens up somebody's body, they're not going to see something slithering up their spine. Okay? It is symbolic. It is to describe that something that is latent is now awakened. That's why they use the snake. It's like it's latent, it's now awakened like that. That's why the cobra is oftentimes used. It's like this. When it's ready to go, phew, like that. Well, minus the side effects, the sound effects. Anyway, okay, so again, from there, all right, as a person's speech develops substantially, if it becomes more intense, it becomes looking like a dragon. Now, take a look at this one. That's why oftentimes you see an Eastern dragon chasing a pearl. Now, there are many, many interpretations of this pearl. You talk to different Chinese people, they give you different stories, of ancient times in the heavens. There's this dragon fighting with this and that. Okay, let's cut through it, and just basically the teaching is like this. When the Kundalini is substantially awakened, as it's coursing through a person's body, the person's already very advanced, the channels are clean. When it hits the blue pearl, okay, the blue pearl, just like that, that pearl is where the dragon, if you will, as it attaches to it, there's energy that shoots out, okay, shoots out of your crown. So that's why when you have images of enlightened beings in the Hindu tradition, they oftentimes have blue skin to symbolize that, hey, their Kundalini energy has hit the blue pearl. They have a strong, if not complete, connection with the higher self. They're one with their higher self. They're one with God, and so on and so on. All right? Now, so that helps explain this image here. So the Buddha Kuan Yin is already a fully enlightened being. As a fully enlightened being, not only is just a snake, if you will, it's now fully awakened into a dragon and has passed through and fully activated the blue pearl, so the dragon is blue. Okay, that's basically the symbolism behind it. Now, all this is interesting and nice for our own understanding, but let's take it more into the practical side. Essentially, the Buddha Kuan Yin is a mother of compassion. It gives us a clue, like, if you want to have prosperity, abundance, good health, happiness in your life, all these different teachings on astrology, all of them are good. If it helps you, it encourages you. The dragon is a mythical animal of power, of strength, of courage, and so on and so on. All that is good. But if you go a little deeper, basically what he's saying is this. In our spiritual development, whether you like it or not, a big part of our spiritual development is service. Service. So the Buddha Kuan Yin, or Bodhisattva Kuan Yin, she's often known as the mother of compassion. So a takeaway from this teaching would be, if we want to have our year to be a good one, the law of karma says, what you sow, you reap, right? It's in every culture, it's in every tradition. So what we should do, just a little advice, if you will, is whatever we want to have for the year, that's what we plant at the first part of the year. In other words, if you want to have prosperity, it's good, it's common Chinese tradition. At the first of the year, they give money. Remember? They give money to their children. These little red envelopes, some of you seen it? Okay? And then it's a form of giving and sharing. So if you like, a good thing to do today, the first part of the Chinese New Year, is to give money to charity, to plant good seeds. What else? A good thing to do the first part of the year is, if you have any disagreements with someone, okay, learn to forgive, let it go. So you go through the new year clean. If you carry old baggage from the old year and you're angry, upset, really pissed off and everything, it's just like you're planting bad seeds energetically and emotionally, and you will reap it the rest of the year. So start your year fresh. I remember growing up, there's this Chinese saying, 好的开始是成功的一半. In other words, a good start is like half of being successful, or half of success. So a good start is just like, you're in a race, you don't want any false starts, you want to make sure that you get out of the gate strong and fast and good. That's already gives you a good chance of being, hitting the finish line. It's something to that effect, all right? So a good, just little advice is, start your year giving money to charity. What else? Forgiving the people that have hurt you. Project love and kindness to all. What else? Already make a goal for yourself. Okay, I want to do this year in terms of service. Okay, so go feed the hungry. If you know how to heal, join a healing clinic if you don't have one. If you don't know it, and this is the first time you're listening to us, there are many pranic healing centers all over the world. We always encourage people, when you watch these videos, you don't just get stuck watching videos. You learn from this. This is basically to just kind of nudge you along. Join the healing clinics that you're closest at. If you took pranic healing from someone in your area, try to go to that center if you have one. Volunteer your time. In Los Angeles, we have many healing centers, and we encourage people, after they take the classes, not just take the class and learn, to heal yourself and heal the people immediately, like your family and friends, but really venture out and really use the skills you have to open your heart, to allow the goodness within you to manifest as healing for other people. All right? So those are the things that we suggest. Now, before we end this talk, why don't we do a meditation? It's interesting, Chinese New Year, Chinese people like to eat rice, right? So we always say, the staple food of Chinese people, Asian people is rice. The staple food of pranic healing, arhatic yogis, and people who are on the spiritual path is what we call meditation twin hearts. So we'll do a short version of it. We'll focus more on the cleansing. We'll focus more on experiencing inner peace and stillness. And at the end of the meditation, we'll also focus on blessing our loved ones, our friends. You can even visualize your projects that you have for the year with so much spiritual energy coming down from God, from our higher self, from great teachers. We'll just kind of flood those with lots of good energy to start the year. It's like giving yourself a good, what do you call it? Booster rockets, if you will. All right? So just, why don't you get up and do some stretching a little bit? I know we've been talking for half an hour. Stretching, shaking a little bit before we sit down and meditate. All right? We'll give you a few seconds. All right, you ready? So before we start, let's ask for divine blessing. To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to all the spiritual teachers, Holy Masters, Saints, to all the Holy Archangels, Holy Angels, Spiritual Helpers, you can invoke and pray to whoever you like. To my beloved and respected teacher, Master Chok Sui, Mahagu Jimeling, and all the high beings, to the Lord Christ, to the Lord Buddha, to all the high beings, thank you for divine light, love, guidance, help, healing energy, and divine protection. We thank you. In full faith, so be it. All right. So just close your eyes, put your tongue in your palate, just relax. Just inhale, exhale slowly. Okay, just breathe in and out slowly. Just keep your eyes closed. Okay. Okay, look at me. Just raise your hands like this in blessing position. The reason it's called meditation twin hearts is we're going to meditate through our heart and through our crown. This is your human heart, this is your divine heart. And the big part of this meditation is blessing. We allow ourselves to be instruments for these blessings to flow through. All right? So take your left hand, just gently tap the center of your chest. That's your heart chakra. Take your right hand, gently tap your crown. Sit straight, relax. Raise your hand like this. Now visualize the planet Earth the size of a little ball in between your hands, right in front of you. Okay, close your eyes. Keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Relax. Be aware of your heart. Be aware of the love within your heart. Now just imagine beautiful pink light from your heart flowing down through your hands and just flooding the entire earth with beautiful pink light. We will use the prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi. Okay, it's a very universal prayer. Be aware of your heart. You repeat after me silently. Lord, or whoever you pray to, make me an instrument of your peace. Wherever there's hatred in the world, anywhere, let me sow divine love. Bless your family, your friends, every person you know with peace and with love. Bless different parts of the world that are having conflicts and wars with peace and with love. Where there's injury, let me sow pardon and forgiveness. Just think of some of the people that, we have hurt. Just say, to whoever I've hurt in however way I've hurt you, I humbly ask for your forgiveness. I've learned from my mistakes. I ask for your forgiveness. Thank you for forgiving me. If a similar situation comes up, I will do the right thing. I will practice love and kindness in my words, my thoughts, and my actions. Thank you for your forgiveness. So be it. Then a lot of us hold guilt and anger towards ourselves too, right? So just think of some of the things we've done in the past that was wrong. You just say, we are all children of God. That's why we're called children. We still goof up. We make mistakes. So the important thing is, just say, I've learned my lesson. I've learned my lesson. And again, if a similar situation comes up, I'll do the right thing. I've learned from my mistakes. I make it a point that I will be careful, I will do the right thing. So I forgive myself. So be it. Then we move on to some of the people that have hurt us that we're still holding grudge, anger, resentment towards them, right? So just visualize them in front of you. To all who have hurt me, we're all children of God. We'll all make mistakes. We're still evolving. As Master Swakoksui says, evolution involves time, process, and lots of dumb mistakes. So I've had my share of mistakes and learned from them. Now just turn towards these people who have hurt you. Right? We're all children of God. Children of God. God's peace and love be with me. God's peace and love be with all of you. You are completely forgiven. May you be blessed with inner peace and inner healing. May you also learn and grow on your spiritual path. Namaste. I release you. I completely forgive you. So be it. So be it. In the prayer of St. Francis, where it says, where there's injury pardon, it involves forgiving people who have hurt us, forgiving ourselves, and asking for forgiveness to the ones we have hurt. Good way to start really, just let go of all this old baggage. So let's go to the meditation again. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Wherever there's hatred, let me sow love. Peace and love be to all. Where there's injury, let me sow pardon and forgiveness. Let there be peace, love, and forgiveness, and a spirit of reconciliation towards all. Where there's doubt, faith, where there's despair, hope. Bless the earth with lots of beautiful pink light. Think of some of the people you know who are suffering. Either they've lost their jobs, having physical ailments or relationship issues. To the different countries where people are, being hurt or suffering. Just say, to all who are suffering, may you be blessed with hope and faith and a better life. With God, all is possible. So be it. So be it. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. Allow yourself, allow your soul, your entire being to be just an instrument of God's love, mercy, and compassion to the entire earth. Say, so be it. Now, raise your awareness up to your crown. Be aware of your crown, the top of your head. Imagine it glowing with beautiful golden light. Let the golden light from your crown just flow down to your hands, to the entire earth. Visualize the earth glowing with beautiful golden light. Just silently say, from the heart of all loving God, let every person, every being on earth be blessed with love and kindness. Let all, and that means all, without exception, let all be blessed with great joy and happiness, with understanding, harmony, and divine peace. Let all be blessed. So be it. Just allow the golden light just pour through your hands from your crown to the entire earth, flooding the earth through your crown, through your hands, with peace, love, and kindness. We're just instruments, just let it flow. So be it. So be it. Now, be aware of both the heart and the crown. Your crown is filled with golden light. Your heart is transformed and filled with golden light. Let the golden light from your heart and your crown just flow down through your hands to the beautiful earth. Just repeat with me. From the heart of God, let every person and every being on earth, without exception, be blessed with loving kindness. Let all be blessed with inner peace and inner healing. Let all be blessed with understanding, harmony, and divine peace. Let all be blessed with goodwill and the willingness to do good. So be it. So be it. So be it. Let all beings in the higher worlds, the middle worlds, even the lower worlds, in all 8 directions, above and below. In other words, let all beings in all dimensions be blessed by the Universal Supreme God, by all the high beings. May all be blessed with love, with peace, with healing. Let all be blessed with understanding, harmony, and goodwill. Blessings be to all. Blessings be to all. Now, as we continue doing the blessings, we will gently chant the mantra of mercy, compassion. Okay, Chinese New Year, Buddha Kuan Yin, the mantra of mercy and compassion is Om Mani Padme Hum. Okay, so just be aware of your heart and your crown. Allow your entire being to be an instrument and a channel for the divine blessings to flow through. So visualize the earth. Project golden light. We'll just chant it a few times. Just let the blessings flow through us. All right. Om Mani Padme Hum. Let all be blessed unconditionally. Om Mani Padme Hum. Let all beings be blessed. Om Mani Padme Hum. Let all be blessed without exception. So be it. Blessings be to all. Blessings be to all. Allow yourself, allow your entire being to be just an instrument for these divine blessings to flow through. So be it. Now, gently lower your hands on your lap. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. On top of your crown, visualize a beautiful golden flame. Look at that golden flame. Meditate on the golden flame and the silence in between the mantra Om. Just look at that flame. Feel the quality of that flame. Just be still, be aware. Just inhale, exhale slowly. Meditate on the silence in between each mantra, Om. Be still. Be aware of the golden flame. Be aware of the inner stillness, the inner peace, and the divine bliss. And just simply let go now. So be it. Just let go. Just let go. Maintain your stillness and awareness. Just be still. We'll do a quick cleansing. The divine energy is already pouring down your crown. The intense divine energy is cleansing your crown. Any negative thoughts, negative energies in your crown that obstruct you from spiritual development and practice are now disintegrated, extracted, and properly disposed of. Your crown chakras are cleansed, energized, and super energized. Tremendous amount of divine energy is pouring down to increase your spiritual connection and divine oneness. So be it. Just be still. Be aware of your crown. Your forehead, your ajna, and your backhead chakras are being cleansed. The ajna is the energy center in between your eyebrows. The divine energy is cleansing your forehead, ajna, and backhead chakras. Any negative thoughts, negative energies are completely disintegrated, extracted, expelled. Your ajna chakra is being thoroughly cleansed. Any energies that obstruct you from having focus and clarity are now being completely disintegrated, extracted, expelled properly. Properly disposed of. Your ajna chakras are super energized. You now have tremendous amount of divine energy pouring into your ajna chakra, giving you proper and strong and focused willpower to accomplish anything you want. Your ajna chakras are cleansed, energized, and also gives you mental clarity. So be it. Just be still. Gently assimilate and absorb and assimilate the blessings into your ajna chakra. So be it. The divine energy is pouring down into your throat chakras. Your throat chakras are being cleansed. Any negative thoughts, negative energies in your throat chakras are disintegrated, expelled, and properly disposed of. Your throat chakras are cleansed and highly super energized. Your throat chakra helps you remember. It helps your memory. It also helps you with little details. Your ability for understanding details and concrete thinking is also highly enhanced and energized. So be it. Your throat chakras are cleansed and properly energized. The divine energy is cleansing your heart and back heart chakras. Your front and back heart chakras are cleansed. Any energies that prevent you from experiencing love, sweetness, and kindness and intimacy are now being completely disintegrated properly by the divine energy. So be it. Your front back heart chakras are cleansed. Your back heart chakras are also flooded with intense divine energy. The divine energy is entering your back heart, flooding your front heart through the back, as well as your entire astral body with waves of love, joy, and happiness and intense peace. Peace, love, joy, and happiness. So be it. Your front back heart chakra through the back are highly energized, highly activated. The divine energy is entering your front back solar plexus chakras. Your front back solar plexus chakras are cleansed. Any anger, resentment in your front back solar plexus chakras and lower astral bodies are now being completely disintegrated by the divine supreme God. So be it. So be it. Your front back solar plexus chakras are cleansed. Highly cleansed all the way deep inside. Any Old anger, resentment are now being dissolved. With God's blessing, so be it. With the help of my teacher, Master Chokoksui Mahaguji Meli, and all the high beings, so be it. Let go of your past. Your front, back, solar plexus are being cleansed. You're now filled with peace, love, and stillness. So be it. Your liver chakras are being cleansed. Your spleen chakras are being cleansed. Your navel chakras is being cleansed. Your sex chakras is being cleansed. Your basic chakra, your soul, the tip of the spine, the basic chakra is being cleansed. Any kind of negative thoughts, negative energies that prevent you from being financially successful and prosperous are now being disintegrated by the Divine Supreme God through this divine energy. So be it. Your basic chakras are cleansed. Your basic chakras are also blessed by God with prosperity and abundance. Now, so be it. With God's blessing, so be it. With the help of my teacher, Master Chokoksui Mahaguji Mailing, so be it. All negative energies now properly disposed of. Your chakras are cleansed. Your channels are cleansed. May you be blessed by God with waves of love, joy, peace, happiness, and divine bliss. With the help of my teacher, Master Chokoksui Mahaguji Mailing, and all the high beings, may you be blessed with divine light, divine love, divine power, joy, happiness, good health, abundance, and prosperity. So be it. All negative course, any negative connections from 2011 from the past are now completely severed, cut, and properly disposed of. May you be blessed by God. May you be blessed by Master Chokoksui Mahaguji Mailing, by the Lord Jesus, the Lord Christ, by Buddha Kuan Yin, Buddha Sakyamuni, and all the high beings. May you be blessed by Mahaguji Mailing with abundance, prosperity, with good health, with wisdom, and divine oneness. So be it. Just be still, be aware. Inhale the blessings given by God. Hold. Exhale smoke out of your feet. Or any impure energies left, just exhale it like smoke out of your feet. Again, inhale love, joy, peace, and happiness. Exhale any impure energies out of your system. So be it. So be it. So be it. All right. Now, that was a lot, huh? Raise your hands in blessing position like this. You know you have all this excess energy. Why don't we bless our loved ones, shall we? Visualize your family in front of you. May your family be blessed with good health, happiness, abundance, and prosperity. May they be blessed with spirituality and divine oneness. You shower your family with beautiful golden light. Next, shower your people you work with, your job, your boss, your co-workers, everyone, especially the ones you're not getting along with too well. Give them triple dose. Lots of love, sweetness, joy, and happiness. Remember, plant the right seeds. Blessings be to all. Bless your city, your country. Let the golden light just spread throughout the entire earth. Blessings be to all. Say, so be it. Okay, now personally visualize your finances. Visualize it improving, increasing, and multiplying. And then as you get blessed with more prosperity, see yourself sharing it. You know, visualize yourself giving money to charity. And the more you give money to charity and help others, you know, like a trapdoor of money just pour down into your head. Well, gently. Prosperity pour into your life. The more you share with others, you notice the more opportunities and blessings come your way. Emotionally, as you love and care for people, you notice people love you. You have a lot of friends and loved ones. The ones that you were not getting along with, you know, it's now mended. There's now reconciliation. So emotionally and also in your relationship, things start to improve. Mentally, visualize yourself studying, understanding deeper teachings, your mental faculty improving. You have more clarity in your life. Okay? Flood that with golden light. Spiritually, see yourself doing your spiritual practice, not giving excuses not to pray or meditate. All right? Visualize yourself spending the time meditating, experiencing divine light, divine connection, divine bliss, you know, and also encouraging other people to do their spiritual practice. After all, when everything's gone, what's left is the real you, the soul, the spiritual being. So spend time with your spiritual practice. See yourself, you know, doing your meditation and spiritual practice and time of prayer, flooded with golden light. Say, so be it. So be it. Good. Visualize your life for 2012 being empowered, filled with happiness. You know, your health improving. Visualize yourself healthy. You know, eating properly, exercising, you know, filled with good health, right? Visualize yourself emotionally fulfilled. Visualize yourself, you know, learning new things, mentally also fulfilled. But most of all, see yourself spiritually more developed, giving you the wisdom, the clarity to be able to help other people too. So your life is blessed with good health, happiness, prosperity, and spirituality. Say, so be it. Now open your palms, repeat after me. To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, we thank you. To all our spiritual teachers, to all the Holy Masters, Saints, Archangels, Holy Angels, and spiritual helpers. You can thank whoever you like. I humbly thank my beloved teacher, Master Chua Sui Mahaguru Jumeli, to the Lord Christ, to the Buddha Kuan Yin, Buddha Sakyamuni, all the high beings. Thank you for divine light, love, guidance, help, and protection. For this coming year of the dragon, thank you for prosperity. Thank you for good luck, good fortune, happiness. God is all the source, is the source of all goodness. So we completely, deeply, permanently, and gratefully accept all your blessings, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, etherically, and physically. In all areas of our lives, on all levels, we accept these blessings. And as we accept these blessings, we promise to be able to share a lot of these blessings through healing, to tithing, giving money to charity, giving time to help others in need. We thank you, we thank you, thank you in full faith. So be it. Amen. Om. Amen. And so it is. All right. Okay, open your eyes with a big old smile. I hope that was a good meditation for you. It was definitely intense and a good way to kickstart the new Chinese New Year. All right. So thank you very much for joining us. As always, it's a pleasure. I love doing this. It gives me the opportunity to, express the teachings of my teacher to all of you and share it with you. As he has changed my life, I'd like to have these teachings transform your life. Now, before we end, just a few reminders. Please, please, please leave your comments and your feedback. We'd love to hear from you. It's a way for us to know how you're responding to these. We'd love to keep pouring and sharing a lot of these so you can learn, you can participate, but more importantly, so you can take these teachings and transform it, improve your life, and also share it with others. Again, a lot of you who are close to your healing centers, please volunteer your time to go there and do healing, volunteer your time in counseling, whatever it is that you have a calling for. A lot of people have different skills. Go out and share, plant right seeds, and as your life is blessed, use that energy and those blessings to improve your life, the life of your family, and then share it some more so it basically gains momentum and your life will just continue to improve throughout the coming years. All right? What else? For all of you who are sharing and donating to this ministry, we call it it used to be a video stream, now we call it the video ministry because of all your comments. A lot of people have been helped, and we are very grateful to God and my teacher to give us this opportunity to serve. So the ones who are donating to this, we thank you. May God bless you extra, many super times. With good health, happiness, lots of prosperity and abundance for your generosity. Okay, God's blessed me with you. And as a thank you, for those of you who want, we've been showing you this image. Let me show you it again. This one. All right, the image of the Buddha Kuan Yin. We would like to give that to you. It's a poster. It's about 13 by 90. We'd like to give that to you as a gift. So the information you just read through after you see the credits afterwards. You go to to pranichealing.com/store. Okay. Anyway, the information is after I'm finished yakking. It's there. It's a gift to you. You just pay for shipping and handling, no cost. It's a way for us to say thank you for all the love and generosity you shared with us. It's the same image we've been talking about, and it's blessed with lots of happiness, joy, good energy, prosperity energy. Just hang it on your wall, just as a reminder of God's mercy and love to all of us, to give us the opportunity to evolve. So when you see that blue dragon, you think, I have to do my spiritual practice so my little itty bitty serpent will become a dragon one day. As it hits my blue pearl, allowing me to be a greater servant of the divine plan. All right? So I think you had enough of me already. You want to enjoy your new year. So Atma Namaste. Thank you very much for joining us. God's peace, love, and blessings be to all of you. May Buddha Kuan Yin's blessing be upon all of you for a wonderful new year. As you say in Chinese, Gong Xi Fa Chai, meaning congratulations. Fa Chai means be super prosperous, have lots of money, abundance, prosperity. Okay? Atma Namaste. Thank you. You guys take care. Bye.